Hey, let's talk about a really tangible example of what self-doubt can do. I've got loads and loads and loads of clients who've done things like this, but this one is a really good one to highlight just where self-doubt comes from and how it can just cripple your results, which you should be achieving. So it's about a lady who was trained very, very hard and a long time to be very skillful at what she does. And she has proof that she's good at it. She has testimonials. She's well recognized. So she went for 2 interviews recently and she failed to get either of them. And she should have got these jobs. And the worst thing about these jobs, it's not the fact she didn't get them. In some ways it was right for her not to get them, is because they were too lower level. So under niching, as we call it. So self-doubt tends to make people not go for the level of work they should be going for, whether it is employed or in your own business. We don't promote ourselves. We don't talk about what we're good at. And we don't go for the pay or the remuneration that we should be going for. So she failed to get 2 jobs that she should have smashed. So why is this? Because she's got proof. She's well trained. She knows what she's doing, and people know that she knows. And the reason she failed is because rather than taking her real confident self who knows all of this, she got hijacked by the thinking in her brain, which we call sabotage loops, which is just a part of your brain that excessively creates self-doubt in this case, which led to her losing confidence, which meant she didn't communicate her worth to the people who are interviewing her. And that's just what happens. We see it all the time. I work with salespeople who are really good at selling a product, but selling themselves. Imposter syndrome comes in. Work with C-suite who are ready for that next level, but won't put themselves forward. So there's loads and loads of examples of the same thing, which when we have self-doubt gone to an excessive level. And this is a very common process. It's something that the brain accidentally does. This is why so many people have this problem. And it was all about, for this lady, how she was trained to do her job. And it was down to one particular person who trained her, who was incredibly aggressively pushy, very hard, to the point of being bullying. Now, 2 things happened. Because she was always pushed so hard, she became very good. And this is the double-edged sword of this sort of development, that she became very, very good, but through fear. So what happened was fear of failure became her dominating motivation. Fear of failure, fear of being criticized, fear of losing money, making mistakes, looking stupid. It doesn't matter what the fear is. It becomes dominant. Fear becomes dominant as a motivator rather than, hey, being able to confidently say, I'm good at this. I'll be good for your company. I'll be good for you in what it is you do. So this is why we fail to promote ourselves, fail to communicate how good we are and show our confidence. So even though the CV and the referrals and the references were all saying fantastic, the person who showed up in the interview was the self-doubt person who'd been dominated by fear. So when we were working together, we discovered all of this. And basically what I say is we turn it off. We turn that part of the thinking off, because the real you knows you're good. Now, a little bit of self-doubt is good. Actually, a little bit of self-doubt at the right time in the right place helps you make better decisions. It makes you plan better. But excessive self-doubt, which is so easy to create, as I said, this is why so many people have it. It's an accident of thinking, and it creates what we call a sabotage loop, where we become obsessed by don't fail, don't fail, don't fail. If I don't fail, then I'll succeed. But what happens is, when it's time to turn up to an interview or to make a big decision, the brain says, no, you can't do it. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're going to look stupid. You're going to fail. You're going to whatever. So finding out what you're doing is absolutely essential. It's actually very easy. It takes about a couple of hours to find the reason. And then over the course of a few weeks, when I was working with this lady, we not only found it, we showed her how to turn it off. She got used to turning it off. We went for 2 other interviews after that, and she got both of them. Now, she still could go for a higher level. She's still underperforming in terms of her niche, but now she's prepared to say, hey, I am good. So she's actually ready for the next level already. But that's the difference between failing 2 interviews and getting both of them, was because which part of her showed up to the interview? The real person who knows how good she is, or the part that's been bullied and is trying to protect her from that bullying and from that criticism, which is now getting in the way. So this is how sabotage loops and things like self-doubt and imposter syndrome and an excessive fear of anything work. They are trying to help us, but they get in the way. But actually, we don't do them all the time. If you have an argument in your head saying, I should be able to go for this job, I'm capable of this, that should be my position, I should be starting my business, I should be charging this amount of money because I'm that good. I know. It's not egotistical, it's not arrogant, it's just true. But there's something holding you back. So you have an argument, you have a conflict. It means this can be turned off, because it doesn't happen all the time. Never worked with anybody they did it consistently in all of the time. It turns on, turns off. So if you can turn it on, turn it off, like any other process, we just turn it off more permanently. So I hope this has been useful to you, because she's been holding herself back because her main motivator was don't fail and, in this case, get criticised. So that was what was dominating her. And the big aha moment for her was, I'm not having fun anymore with what I love to do. And that was the bolt for her. And it's different for everybody, but it's usually just one decision to say, that's it. And that's when she turned it off. It's time to have fun. She walked in there having fun, knowing she's confident. Yes, it was still too low a level, but she needed to get the job. And now she can move forward in her career, having fun, enjoying what she's doing and being good at it, because she is. So I hope this has been useful to you. Self-doubt, even though you may have had it for years and years, most of my clients do, you can turn it off very quickly. I promise you. It's just a matter of weeks. So if you know you're getting in your own way, get in touch, ask some questions, and then we'll be really happy to help. It's what we're really good at here. We've been doing it for 20 years, and we just love helping people get out their own way so they can do what they're capable of doing. Thanks for your time, and I will speak to you soon.